It goes without saying that The Undertaker is a bona fide legend in the wrestling business. He made his WWE debut all the way back in 1990 and has stayed loyal to WWE, remaining with the company to this day. He has enjoyed good longevity in the business, being able to reinvent himself time and time again, whether it be The Undertaker from the Ministry of Darkness, the American Badass, Big Evil, or just simply the Dead Man. And let's not forget about the streak. Yes, The Undertaker's legendary WrestleMania streak did come to an end at WrestleMania 30 when he was defeated by Brock Lesnar, but he had gone 23 years with 21 consecutive WrestleMania wins, only missing 2 WrestleManias in that time. He has been in some legendary matches over the years, from battles with his brother Kane to Hell in a Cell matches with Mankind and absolute show stealers with HBK Shawn Michaels. So let's go and check out The Undertaker's top 10 matches in WWE. And to kick off the list, we've got this classic match from the 1991 Survivor Series. It's The Undertaker versus Hulk Hogan. Yes, The Undertaker has clearly had better quality matches in later years, however this one is significant because it was when The Undertaker grabbed his first ever WWE title. And the other significant thing about it was nobody was beating Hulk Hogan at the time. It was very hard to get a win over the Hulkster, and The Undertaker did it. Just 1 year after making his debut at the 1990 Survivor Series. It may have been through dubious circumstances with the Nature Boy Ric Flair at ringside helping out The Undertaker, but still, this was a very significant moment for the Dead Man. And in at number 9, it is The Undertaker vs Edge from WrestleMania 24. These two had a great series of matches in their time in the WWE, from Hell in a Cell matches to TLC matches, but I went with this one because it's just a good straight up wrestling match, bell to bell, no gimmicks. It was for the world title, it was the main event of WrestleMania, and these two guys had a real good style when they worked together. Check this one out on the WWE Network. And coming in at number 8, we've got The Undertaker versus The Animal Batista from their awesome matchup they had at WrestleMania 23. Now, it wasn't the main event that year. Cena and Michaels main evented WrestleMania 23. However, it was a big match. The Undertaker and Batista had a great feud going on. Some great moments in this match and a very good quality WrestleMania matchup here. And next up, it is the classic Undertaker vs Kane from WrestleMania 14. This match had been building up from the previous 6 months after Kane debuted at Bad Blood, surprising his brother The Undertaker on that night, and surprising everybody. And yes, The Undertaker and Kane have had some awesome matches since this match, of course, with the Inferno matches and Hell in a Cell matches, etc. But this one, it was the first one. It was so intense. This match was all about the build-up, the story between these two. It's got to go down as one of the greatest stories in WWE history. You had Paul Bearer at Kane's side. Kane was at his absolute evil best here. This match was a really big deal at the time. It was brother versus brother, and this is where the saga between The Undertaker and Kane all began at WrestleMania 14. And coming in at number 6, it is The Undertaker versus Triple H from their match at WrestleMania 27. Now, this was not a great WrestleMania. Most people do agree on that. But this was a real standout match on the show. It stood out like a sore thumb, you might say. It was no holds barred, so anything goes, and both guys really took that to the limit in this one. Of course, the two would go on to feud at the following year's WrestleMania at WrestleMania 28 in Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee, and it was a toss-up between that match and this one, but I've gone with this one. Both were good, but in my opinion, this was better. Another one worth checking out. And at number 5, it is a triple threat match from WWE Vengeance 2002 with The Undertaker putting his WWE Undisputed Championship on the line against The Rock and Kurt Angle. Now, this thing was just off the hook. It was action-packed. You had near fall after near fall, a ton of cool stuff going on in this match. The Undertaker did not retain his title in this match, however. It was The Rock who was victorious, but you gotta check this one out. So cool. And next up, it is one of the most brutal, bloodiest cage matches you will ever see. It is The Undertaker versus the WWE Champion Brock Lesnar from No Mercy 2002, and this thing is all out carnage. It was an absolute war. Such a cool match. You would never see anything like this nowadays in WWE, that's for sure. If you've never seen this match and you're into these brutal, bloody type matches, you've got to check this one out. The Undertaker and Brock had a ton of cool matches in their time, especially around this time in WWE as well. But this one really stands out. Just total carnage. And heading into the top three, we've got the absolute classic The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels from Bad Blood 1997. Now, as I mentioned before, this is when Kane made his debut at the end of the match. Michaels got the win. Both men were totally laid out. Michaels got the fortuitous win by laying his arm over The Undertaker, so he may have won the match. But then Kane came in, ripped the door off the cell and tombstoned his brother The Undertaker and announced his arrival in the WWE. And what an arrival that was. But as far as the actual match goes, well, it is notable because it is the first ever Hell in a Cell match that WWE had. And damn, it was a classic. Both men got bloodied and brutalized. Some really cool moves. With Shawn Michaels flying off the side of the Hell in a Cell onto the announce table. We can all remember that one. Just a really awesome match and a really cool moment in WWE history. And this match is actually known for being one of the starting points of the Attitude Era as well, so it had it all. And coming in at number 2, well, we all know this one, right? The Undertaker versus Mankind from King of the Ring 1998. What more can be said about this match that hasn't already been said? Well, less than 2 minutes into the match, The Undertaker threw Mankind off the top of a 16-foot high cell through an announce table, and that says it all right there. That would have been enough to end any match and almost anybody's life almost if it had gone wrong right there. But no, Mankind continued on unbelievably. He climbed up to the top of Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker, and then he was chokeslammed through the top of that 16-foot high cell onto the mat, and he was knocked legitimately unconscious. But he still continued on. Thumbtacks were brought into the match. Mick Foley, you are a legend, my friend. Everybody knows this match. It is one of the most famous wrestling matches ever. The Undertaker, he was victorious at the end of this one. One of the most memorable, well-known and most talked about matches in WWE history. And my number one match from The Undertaker, it has got to be that awesome matchup that he had with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. Quite unlike the Hell in a Cell match that I mentioned before from Bad Blood. That thing may have been bloody and brutal, but this thing was an absolute classic. A show stealer from bell to bell. With over 72,000 fans in attendance, these two put on an absolute wrestling clinic. Pulling out all their big moves and reversals on one another, this match went right down to the wire. The two, of course, had a rematch at the following year's WrestleMania, with Shawn Michaels' career on the line, and The Undertaker would win that match also. However, I do rate their WrestleMania 25 match above the 26 match. It was the first one, and in my opinion, it was just the better match. An absolute classic for all times. It's The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25. So there you go, guys. There are my top 10 matches that The Undertaker had in the WWE. How does your list compare to this? Let us know in the comments below, and we will catch you next time here on Stinger Wild. Thanks heaps guys for tuning into the video. Be sure to drop a scorpion death drop on that like button and subscribe to the channel for more awesome pro wrestling action from the WWE, the WCW and much more.